Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas with Ace the Gamer. So today's episode is going to be fairly interesting because we're going to go to a place called Novac, but on the way there's going to be a handful of exciting moments, and once we reach Novac, we're actually going to pick up a companion. Now, in some games, companions are kind of helpful, but you gotta do a lot of the work when it comes to combat and other things. But in the Fallout series, you actually can get a handful, usually, of very productive and powerful companions. Now, a lot of people like to use Veronica or Raul, but for me, I like using Boone, especially for NCR type playthroughs, because he is a sniper that was part of the NCR and believe he retired and is now kind of working in Novac, keeping watch at night while his boss slash partner pays attention during the day. So we're gonna help Boone out, which will convince him to help um, to help us with our mission. And I like Boone not just because he's a sniper, which does absolutely help, but also because we get some interesting dialogue when we have to deal with the Legion as well as the NCR, I believe. So again, usually people like using different characters depending on what their goal is for the playthrough. But again, since we're kind of taking our time trying to go through every aspect of Fallout New Vegas, as well as siding with NCR, I just personally feel that using Boone is very fitting. Now we just killed a bunch of Vipers, the Viper gunslingers. And as you'll find in the lore, they actually used to be a very powerful gang, but over the course of time, they slowly became less and less relevant. So we're gonna look, and since there's not really anything that really sticks out, what I will do is pick intense training again. And intelligence would be nice. Charisma would be nice. I think sticking with intelligence or charisma is usually a go-to, but to be honest, we should have more luck because it is Fallout New Vegas where luck does play a role, regardless of the type of playthrough, and it does impact all skills, which again does kind of help our goal, which is to get quite a handful of different skills maxed out by the time of end game, or at least late game. So we're going to discover this place, which is a very good place to discover because eventually we're going to come back here, but going to go towards that direction. But for now, we're actually going towards this direction. And since this is a good halfway point, it kind of saves a lot of time. Plus, by discovering every new location, you do get a bit of experience. And again, in the early game, especially for Fallout games, you want to try to get as much experience as you can get, as long as it doesn't really take up too much extra time. But as you can see, there's some Legion guys up here. So let's let our presence be known. Okay, and fortunately I'm running out of bullets, so oh, never mind. And that's why we like increasing our gun skill this early on, because headshots can be insta-kills as long as the target's armor isn't insanely amazing, but also it saves us bullets. And saving bullets is actually something I usually like to keep in mind when I do the playthroughs I play. Whether I'm trying to just go fast, go slow, try to find different things I haven't done in previous playthroughs, because as you'll find when it comes to even the gun runners, they only have so many bullets to sell you at a time, and you really don't want to do any tricks that waste so much time, like having to stand in a place or sleeping in a place for 3 days and fast traveling to this location and that location, and just to get enough ammo that you feel you'll need for, I don't know, let's say 1 to 2 more hours until you gotta do it again. So let's see. There's some action going on over here. Can tell there's Legion guys, but I wonder who they're fighting. Let's go take a look. Um Oops. Okay, let's see. And oh, I guess they were facing some Vipers, which, as you can kind of tell, the Legion guy won. Ooh, but it looks like one Legion guy looks like took down 3 gunslingers, and that kind of goes to show the difference in the strength of different factions. Because I'm sure if I was, a powder ganger versus 3 Vipers, the Vipers probably, I don't want to say could easily have won, but let's be honest here. One of the weakest factions in the game, in my opinion, is the powder gangers. So something to also keep in mind: if you're not wearing the armor, but you're wearing something like helmets, you can, while dealing with factions that they don't like. For example, if I'm wearing the recruit helmet, the NCR isn't gonna try to kill me, but if I'm wearing the recruit armor and the NCR sees me, I'm on their most wanted list to them. So that's also something to keep in mind. So because I know there's like 4 or 5 Vipers up here, I'm just gonna use the machete, because even if I one-shotted all of them, I wouldn't be able to kill all of them with just 3 bullets with my cowboy repeater. And again, this is why it's good to have multiple go-to weapons on hand all the time, because it kind of prevents you from being in a situation where you just have no idea what to do because there's so many enemies, but you're unable to kill them, and you're using weak weapons just because one of them might drop something that's better than using your fists, right? So, as per usual, I'm gonna collect everything that I can from these guys, and see, since there were 4, I would say I made the best decision I could by saving my ammo. Ooh, there was actually 5. Okay. Well, point taken, Ace. So, I'm gonna repair everything that I can, as usual. Unfortunately, I had to use a lot of stim packs and doctor's bags, but luckily we're almost getting to a point in the game where I'm gonna not have to use as much healing as I would in other cases. And let's see. So sometimes it's good to just use some food to make up space. If if you're not using a DLC, I would say try to preserve as much as possible when it comes to this, because you see, even the purified water value is 100. Since there's 5 of them, that means there's 20 caps per bottle. So if you're really hurting for caps, just using these 5 bottles of water sets you back quite a bit, which you shouldn't really do. And that's why food is so great to use comparatively, because look, you will get some radiation, which is not fun, especially if your radiation level increases like to a really high level. But also, food is usually much cheaper than like even dirty water, purified water, and in turn, you could find yourself restocking on caps even by using a lot of the food you have, just because you have saved these things. So there's ranger stations all around in Mojave and in this game, Fallout New Vegas. And I think what's important to note is that when you're playing games like Fallout, like any game in a Fallout series, or similar like Skyrim, it's usually good to discover as many places as possible. Not just because you get a little bit extra experience, which, let's face it, by completing certain missions, you make close to how much experience you would make by discovering like 100 locations. But either way, when it comes to future content you'd be running into, like in this playthrough, since we're siding with the NCR, one of the NCR missions is going to every ranger station. So the fact that we took the time to discover that location way over there, now, since we were going to pass it anyways, will actually save us a lot more time moving forward.
Prim wimped out and accepted NCR rule. Some people will do anything to feel safe.
Now, I know there's a doctor here, but I do not know exactly where she is, so instead of trying to find that doctor, well, is that her?
Ouch.
No, just more settlers. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna go to the general store, and maybe I'll be able to stock up again on some ammo, and then we're gonna take the time to wait for our soon-to-be new companion.
Welcome to the Dino Bite gift shop. Sure thing. Have a look.
So he has 48, which is just so amazing because going from 3 to over 50 is such a great jump. Ooh, Power Fist and that gun, both very good weapons, but for now we're just going to let them sit with this guy since they're not gonna go away anytime soon. We're gonna stock up on some of the things that we had to spend, looking at magazines, making sure nothing could be purchased and used immediately to permanently increase our skills. And we'll sell a few things. Now I know that depending on the type of player you are, you're going to want to continuously save as much as possible in the early game, just so that when it comes time to really start getting really expensive items, like you can see the difference between a low quality Power Fist and a high quality. It's almost 900 caps of a difference. But I'm going to get that gun since I can afford that. And I'm just going to get rid of everything else that I don't necessarily need. And as well as some misc items if I can, which it looks like I can. Just to make up some of the difference because even though I'm going to continuously be in a position where I could make way more caps back by just selling weapons. You always want to have at least X amount of caps on hand. I'd say minimum 500 is usually good because you could you can just not have to run anywhere, do anything. But this is Manny. We're gonna take a mission from him and actually follow through with it. Not necessarily because we need the information that he has, which to get that information we have to do the mission, but also because it's a good, somewhat quick mission that we can do, and since we're getting Boone, it it would just be really nice to be able to kind of show off Boone's skills as a sniper. So what I'm gonna do is kind of introduce myself to this person as well,
Well,
and
welcome.
you'll know why in just a little bit. But so that's really important, and now we're gonna wait until, let's see, I think almost 10 p.m. works. Well, you know what? Let's cancel. Almost 8 p.m. is just as good. Well, there we go. And hopefully when we make our way up, Boone will
Come on in.
be up here.
You have any
Okay.
luck with the ghouls? I'm counting on you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go with, there we go.
God damn it.
Okay, now, for the time being, since there's going to be a little bit of running around, we're going to just put on our +1 agility armor that we have. Also, because we're not really going to have to be in combat for the time being, especially till the end of this episode. So, with that being said, time to run over to this person's house because we found the bill of sale, which means this person is responsible for doing to Boone what no one should usually be allowed to do, and that is she sold Boone's wife, which is something that this game does tackle a lot. It's unfortunate, but it does happen in some of these games where it's
I hope you're fine.
okay, and it's really cool that we got to get her while she was still in there instead of way at her house, because it sort of saves us some time, because she does walk and such, and depending on if you want to maybe even try to push her a little bit, like, okay, we look up, because that was Boone's instructions.
I hope you're.
Alright, and Boone is going to, Boone, where are you? Okay, let's see. Maybe I had to take it on and off again. There we go. Alright. And if you don't have lockpicking to level or skill number 25 rather, you could always just have Boone kill her, take her key, go back, and unlock the case that way, because Boone, being ex-NCR, he wants to know that he did something for a reason, so...
That's it then. I guess I shouldn't be here. I don't know. Maybe.
So this is where things like this come in handy. Since I have at least 6 in intelligence, I could not just make some experience, but I could also convince him to come with us.
Yeah, but this is fine. Let's get out of here.
Alright, and so we're gonna do a few things now. And those few things is we're going to discover a few more locations, and then we're going to make our way back and help Manny with his little problem. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy the series I'm making so far, please feel free to leave a like or comment, or better yet, subscribe. Doing either or all of those things helps the channel grow, and I do absolutely appreciate it. So until next time, Ace the Gamer signing out.